All right, let's do something. Yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome to Four Facts Podcast, man. This is officially show number 15. We out here making strides. I thank y'all for tuning in continuously, week in and week out. And those who can't tune in right now, just I know you're gonna follow the link that I post up later so you can watch the show. So today's show is topic as opening closed doors, right? So I call it opening closed doors because we often have situations where we have exes or people dealt in our past and things like that that we were involved with. And it may have ended abruptly, it may have ended cordially, or it may have ended with you being the one like, hey, you know it's not working out for me, let me get out of here. And the other person still may have some kind of feelings attached. And then they hit you up later on down the line, asking questions like, they're making comments like, I need closure. Did you ever really care about me? Like, you guys...
Yeah, they just want answers.
Right, so answers. But like I said on my post on Facebook, I told people, like, as a man, if we break up and it don't work out and all that stuff, it's not always no long explanation for us why it didn't work out. Sometimes we just move on and we over it. Like, it was cool while it lasted. It sounded good in the beginning. It felt good in the beginning. You were what I thought you were what I thought I wanted at that time. But then my thought process may have changed. As time went on, I saw character flaws in you or whatever the case may be, and I just moved on. But you were so deeply involved and invested that you couldn't grasp that concept. Like, there's no way I could have moved on because we had something, and if I did move on, there's no way what we had was real. And that's, most of the time I would say, I don't want to keep always pointing out the women, but that's the emotional response. And that's why I think women are the ones usually come with that, because when it comes to opening and closed doors, like if a guy go back to one of his exes and try to get in that door again, more than likely it's motivated by something. It's not just because he need closure, no shit like that, because a guy move on. If a guy is going back to open that door again, he's either going back in for some kind of game, whether he want to smack again, you may be looking better than you looked back then. You may have a dude now and he's like, you know what, fuck that nigga, I'm gonna see if I still got you under my pinky like I had you before. Or you may be in a better financial situation and it may fit perfectly with what he's looking for. You get me? But it's never just for, oh, I need closure or I can't move on, yada, yada, yada. And when I say never, don't mean it's them one-off guys out there who will need the closure. But you know what I'm saying? For the most part, it don't go like that.
Yeah, but what makes it so easy for y'all, though?
I mean, it's not that it makes it easy for us, it's just that where we're wired. Like, we're not wired into our emotional strings like that regularly. You get me? Like, if we're to that point where we need closure on something, more likely we just talk about it amongst our peers. We don't usually call that ex asking for closure.
Right, yeah.
You know, like a woman, she'll talk to her peers about it, or the case may be, don't get the proper or get the answer she want, and then she feels she need to go to him.
Yeah.
Because that was a situation I dealt with when I got the question from a young lady who hit me up, asking me like, it was over 2 years ago, but asked me like, oh, do you feel that our situation was trauma-based? Like, we attract each other because we were trauma? I'm like, honestly, I don't know what the fuck it was because it was 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so long ago, I don't know what the fuck it was. But since it was what it was, like, I'm not really tripping on it no more. But you still stuck in your thought process with it, and you clearly haven't moved on.
Yeah.
Like, it's holding you back trying to get them answers.
I mean, maybe, or it could be for her personal growth as well. You know, just knowing for like future relationships so she don't end up there again.
You think so? I mean, I do hear that.
It's a possibility, you know. I mean, especially after 2 years, it's like, damn, if you still looking for closure, that's wild. Like, I don't know.
But the part that kills me is because they'll do it. Mute your mic, Trev. Mute your mic.
What up? What up?
You gotta mute your mic, bro.
What up?
We live. You gotta mute your mic. Yeah. So yeah. But the problem I get is like, she'll hit me up or things like that, or a woman will hit me up and say things about closure, things like that. And then when I say things, it's like, you know what, like, honestly, I like what we had when it was there, but I'm past that now. I moved on, or the case may be. And then she wants to go to something all deep, and I'm like, honestly, like it's not even that deep to me. Like it just was what it was.
Right.
And then when I say that, then it's oh yeah, you're just not emotionally invested. Like you're emotionally detached, or you don't have this, you don't have that. Like that's not what it is. Because if I cared about you, I probably still got some kind of feeling for you. Like it's gonna resolve for you. But that don't mean I gotta stay in my feelings every time I come across you, or I can't move forward. Like every relationship you have, I gotta become a factor in that relationship because you feel like you never move past our situation.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
I just would like to say, first of all, I think if you personally are coming across this situation more than one time, I think it's something that you may want to look at it, do a little reflection in your pattern of behavior and how your relationships may be ending if multiple women have felt like they didn't get like some type of closure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that you need to go back and address it.
Right.
I'm just saying you may want to like do a little self-reflection and see if you have a pattern of walking away from situations without any resolve that may have these women questioning that. And then like, so for your future reference, you may not necessarily continue to have that same instance of women looking to seek closure from you.
Oh, I mean, are you really seeking closure?
So, but okay, since y'all in here, like, what do y'all think about the closure thing? Like, how do y'all take that? That was my take as a man on closure.
Right.
I'm gonna let you tap in right now, Bria. Let me get their opinion on closure first, and I got you next, Bria.
In my personal opinion, sometimes people tell you the things that have ended, and you're still looking for another explanation outside of that. But if you actually listen, if you actually like calm down and get out of your feelings about it, if you can actually hear like what they said. Like for instance, it may be something that may be said earlier on in a dynamic, right? Like a man may tell a woman like, if there's no more trust, then there's nothing between us. You know what I'm saying? You don't trust me, so you know I take that as him initially saying like, I'm not about to like fight. Once I lose your trust, I'm not about to go through hell and high water for you to believe me again. I understand that is the end of this relationship. And when it happens, she may be looking like, no, why aren't you fighting? Like, bro, I already told you in the beginning of this that if there's no trust, there's no dynamic between us, right? So I think people don't actually listen and take, like, there may be red flags or green flags. I think that's a green flag more, like, because I told you the pattern of behavior that would have me dismissive. We fell into this pattern of behavior, or we fell into this situation, so this is my response. But I already told you this is how it will be. So I think closure, sometimes if we pay attention to what we talked about in the beginning of the dynamics, when we were open and listening or thinking that we were listening.
Go ahead, finish your point.
Yeah, I think that if we actually go back and listen to the conversation that we were having, like, we will understand the patterns of behavior, so we won't need that extra closure. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I think, well, you know, with me personally experiencing that, like in current days, it's kind of like I am seeking closure, but it's really based on if this person was being honest. And in my case, the conversation prior to me seeking the closure was kind of all over the place. So it's like, all right, what more is there? Especially with me being deeply, like, emotionally attached to this person. I think that's where it came from. I've had people in the past where it's like, all right, that's
right,
what it is, that's what it is.
And it also depends on the degree of how invested you are in that person, right? Like, I think it comes like, it's the realization that they didn't, or you may think that you're having a realization that they didn't have the same amount of feelings that they have for you, so you're seeking for an extra answer that does not exist.
Basically, or that you won't get.
Right, and it's the same way, but we don't put ourselves in their shoes. Like, how many times have we been dismissive to somebody, and it was just, we just wasn't feeling them like that. No matter how much they was feeling us, we just wasn't feeling them like that. So it was easy for us to ignore.
See, that's the thing though. Like, I understand, like, you not feeling somebody no more, thing like that, because we all go through that phase when we date people, right? But we not feeling no more. But with me, saying I'm a conversationalist, like I don't mind giving people that conversation they need. Like I'm not going, oh, I'm not feeling them, so I'm gonna cold hard just cut you off and like, oh well, I'm good, so I gotta tell you shit. Like that's not who I am, because I understand people do need certain things to keep them sane as they move forward in the next situation, you know. So I don't mind answering certain questions, but I think after a certain amount of time goes by, you shouldn't still be trying to find that closure. Like immediately while you're still in your feelings and you want to know what's going on and why it didn't work, and you still got hope that it's still gonna work out. Okay, ask them questions. Try to get them answers. But if you see the person moved on, I may have moved. That's why I say, like a lot of times, when a man and a woman is in a relationship, the man will move on, like say a year being passed, a man may have been moved on, had a child, a newborn, things like that. And a lot of times the woman still hasn't had a meaningful relationship since that past relationship, because she's still stuck on the way it ended, or the fact that she still needs something more from that person before she can move forward, but she'll never fully get what she wants. That's why I think the closure thing is a scapegoat, because a closure is really you just saying you still in love with this person without telling them that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because if it's still a year later looking for closure, and you haven't moved forward, and you say I can't move forward until I get the closure with nobody else, it's because you refuse to let this person go. And no matter what I tell you, the more I break it down for you, the less you're gonna understand, because it's gonna be more and more questions, more questions.
I'm giving you some attention.
Yeah. Right? Every answer will lead to another question.
Right, exactly. The best indication that, or the best way I could get it through to you is to like extinct it, like.
For facts.
Extinct all communication.
Bria, I saw your hand up. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute your mic so you can go ahead and tap in, Bria. Go ahead, Mama.
It's the same thing like you said. Basically, when things end, for the most part, people know why they ended. So I don't really ask for closure. Now, it's different, like you said, if somebody just cuts somebody off or drop off the face of the earth, then you're going to want to know why. But I think I've never seek closure. That's not how I am. And then when I get in a new relationship, out of respect for the relationship, I just let it go.
Okay. Yeah. So you don't put so much emphasis on closure, right? Like if it ends, it ends. You move forward with your life. You're not looking for closure.
Yeah, and plus, like I've had friends that they want to know what happened. I mean, I feel like they knew what happened, but they pressed the issue so much, and then, like you said, like it's all this time has passed later, so the guy really he don't care about the feelings anymore. So he may say something hurtful, and then next you know it's I hate him, and all that stuff resurfaces all over again.
So it turns into venom. Got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, Bree. I'm gonna move back to the audience real quick.